It looks like we are.
There we go. I see us on, maybe. There we are.
Okay. So
Oh, I can
I
hear
need to
myself in
send
echo. Hello?
echo. Perfect.
Hello?
Hello, 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 hello. Okay. So, oh,
Ah,
Jeff's on. I need to send. You got a
echo.
bad echo going on.
I just turned it down. I was checking it on
Okay.
my phone.
All right.
Sorry if my voice is a little rough because I've been yelling
You've
all
been
day.
screaming all night.
Yeah.
I'm getting a connection for Mediocre Modeler to come on.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Well,
God.
hello, everybody. From
Hey.
wonderful Georgia.
Oh yeah, of course. Who doesn't love? Gotta love Georgia, man.
And it was cold tonight, by
Georgia's
the
the
way.
best. Was it?
Yeah, it's a little chilly out.
I don't want to be ever cold. All right, Steven on. Cool. All right, James McCoy back. Colin, hi. Thanks for joining. Carl, of course. Stream, yes, yes, yes. Colin. Yeah. All right. I need to get a. Um, I am looking for a good. Here we go. All right.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
put the music up for right now. Or are you really good? Are we good to go?
251. Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well,
Let's
let me
see.
go do something real quick. So I just ran in here and set this up. So I'll be right
All
back.
right, so I just hold on
Wait,
before you
what?
go. Can you pull in mediocre modeler and we'll
Where?
pull him in.
He's not in here
He
yet.
should be up. I just
Uh,
sent them the link.
okay.
Paul, okay, thanks, Paul. Chuck is back. Lola's back. Mediocre in the launch tube. I just sent you a link. So please click that, and Tipsy will bring you on, and we'll cover while Tipsy takes powders his nose, and then comes back, and I will get with our guest and let him know that he should use. Let's see, that he should be using the link I sent him originally.
How do you spell mediocre? E
MEDOCRE.
D I C I O or I C I
Mediocre.
C O R
M E
E, right?
D IOCRE modeler / Kelvin.
He's there. Hang on, give me a second. You get to learn to appreciate all the stuff I do every week, huh?
Oh my God, you can't say that enough. Everything was a mess, guys. Correctly. So everything is just all upside down. Okay. I watched like a couple hours of tutorials to try to do, well, more than a couple hours, but it just didn't come together without practice. It just doesn't work. George is in the house. George, you see all the nonsense I was going through, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I think mediocre is on. Okay, so
Yep.
put him on, and then you go powder your nose, and then we'll take care of business.
I gotta find. I gotta get. I gotta. Hang on. There's one.
The world is so much better place when the Cylons are in charge. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck, and of course that was Jeff, right? I mean, who else would that be, right? Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for all that Cylon well
Interview
wishes.
two.
James finished binge watch UFO complete series. So James, what'd you think? Tell me, do you believe it gets better towards the end or not? I want to put that up. I want to see what your
All
what
right,
your
Pete. Did you give mediocre interview 2 instead of interview 3?
dude. I
Because
just whatever I found, I sent it out. There's not much I can do.
our guest is on interview 2 now.
Okay, so he's on two, and what I did was I went and I grabbed whatever I
So
could
they're going to be
get.
fighting each other unless you get them off.
Okay, so stand by. I'll try to find another one. Let me see if I can find one.
Interview 1 is what you need to give our interview so they don't fight each other. He just booted off Kelvin.
Okay, let me just hold on. See what I can find.
Or give Kelvin a review one or something.
Okay, hold on. This is just banana wacky here. Let's see. Well, guys, I'm glad you get to watch the behind the scenes of how we actually try to
how
get
the
things
sausage is made.
coordinated. Yeah, exactly. I'm still trying to find. All right. Oh my God, this is not going to work. Let me go into.
What do you need? Here, I can give you.
You got it?
What do you need? What are you looking for?
I need one. I need interview one.
Interview one? Hang on, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Just send it to Mediocer, man.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Give me a second.
Yeah. And here's to everybody putting up with all this nonsense. Cheers. Thanks again, Fran, for buying us the next 36 rounds of drinks. Much appreciated. Cylons no technology. Yes, Clay. 100%. James says yes. Oh, it did get better. Cylons are tech, because I will admit that I didn't watch all of UFO. I only got about halfway. Got better. Love the flashback episode where Stray recalls his life and loss of wife. Oh, so
I lost his
backstory
son.
is,
Did he lose his son?
I thought he lost his son, but according to James, he lost his wife as well. So, George in the house. George. What's up, buddy? Let me just thank everybody again. Thanks, guys.
All
Thanks.
Right, stand by.
Okay. All right. So, guys, I appreciate everybody jumping over from the attempt that I made over on the other side. Wife did not die, but she left him.
That's
Whoa.
Right.
All that electronic Felga carb. Yes, Paul. Well said. Get in the way. I was looking through some of my non-sports cards, the Battlestar Galactica collection that I have, and looking at the autographs, and I found some autograph cards I didn't think I had. So we're going to have to do a special on that. Not to mention, we're going to have one of the actual... I think he's one of the publishers over at Non-Sports Card magazine, and Non-Sports Review, I believe it's called, to be exact.
There you go, Kelvin. There's the number.
And so they're coming on, and so we're going to get a chance to talk collectible cards, and I'm going to take some cool pictures of my collection of Galactica stuff. All right, so Joe's on in the green room, waiting patiently. Oh, so patiently, my God. If I was him, I'd be screaming at us, but thank you, Joe, for having the patience that's necessary sometimes. I mean, he is a writer, director, filmmaker, artist, photographer. He knows the ins and outs of putting something like this together. Sometimes is a little difficult. Dave Francoeur, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Steve McCormick, don't know if anyone saw the 60s show The Invaders with Roy Thines from BSG. Yes, just got the soundtrack last week and really excited to listen to it. No kidding. Oh, so I used to love getting soundtracks. My God, I have a heck of a collection of soundtracks myself. The Invaders. Honestly, only vaguely remember a little bit of The Invaders, but I guess I'll go back and watch it now. So, Steve, let us know. Let us know what you think.
There we go. Now we got everybody.
So, now everybody's up. All right, green room is nice and comfortable. Punch and cookies and reruns of BSG. Of course, Carl. What'd you think it would be? Love Invaders. All right, cool, man. Fantastic. Oh, everybody's up. Look at this.
He's up.
Yes. Oh my God, Kelvin! Finally, man. See, it took the real master, the Master Jedi, to really make this happen. Joe, thank you for joining us on IFB. How's your video, Joe?
Can you hear us, Joe?
Joe?
We can hear you, Joe, but evidently you can't hear us.
Okay, so we have to work on Joe's audio.
Can you
So,
hear me?
Kelvin,
Yes.
yes, we can. Um,
Cool.
we we were going to discuss this. You were going to show me some
Yes.
models, I think. Thundar
Oh,
the
yes.
Barbarian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have some models to talk about. Um, and oh, so listen, I
So,
know that for those that are tuning in, most of the crew, they know that Mediocre Modeler is you founded, you're the admin of that streaming podcast that you have, and it's very successful, very well done, and you were also doing another one. You started up another one that was covering some of the shows, some of the Star Wars stuff. And
yeah,
was that
so I
tell me
decided,
about that?
yeah, see, so I decided that if I was just doing the mediocre modeler, that kind of, boxes me into just the model building. And, we're all about sci-fi, and, what was funny was usually start the show with saying, here's a story, here's a podcast of two old guys who are, into 70s sci-fi or whatever. Even without Chris, it still would have been two shows with two old guys. It's disgusting. Old sci-fi.
Well,
That
it
was going to be
was.
the fantastic part about that.
I was
And
I
you
was gonna
did
read
well.
that just the way it was, and it was. I was just gonna add on, the fact that you were coming on, but yeah, the two older guy thing that was on. That was still gonna happen. Um, so we do have Joe Carabeo is in the wings, which is good, and he's got his own. Um, yeah, he does a bunch of stuff. We met him at New York Comic Con by accident, and he actually runs the film festival at AwesomeCon in DC. But that's not to mention the fact that personally he has his own photography. I would imagine it's his company, and he's also a filmmaker. He's actually in the industry. So at some point, Joe, who's waiting
Hey, Joe,
patiently in
can
the
you give us a
wings,
sound check?
we're gonna
Hey,
bring
can you
him
guys
in.
hear me?
Yes, can you hear
Oh,
us?
cool. All right,
There
excellent.
you are.
Very
I'm
good.
I'm trying to. It's using my the laptop camera, but I'm trying to get it to use my actual camera. Is there a secret life hack to get it to access
See,
the
there you
onboard
go.
camera?
There you go, man. It's all
You need a
about that.
Cylon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
needs a
need a
You
Cylon.
need a
Cylon.
Cylon in order
That's
for
right,
it to
Kelvin.
work. Or
Yep,
at least
that's
part
right.
Well, at
That's
least you
what
Cylon.
have
it
one
is.
picture. You have one
Yeah.
picture of
Well,
me. I'll
no,
readjust
we
it
got
so at
you.
least
We
it looks presentable in some way.
there you go. All right, so if you just take a second or so, and Chris will fool around with that, and then mediocre. Kelvin and I will talk a little bit more. We'll set you up, and then we'll start talking. Chris, are you good to go, or do you
Um,
need to step away?
I need to step away and use the little Cylon room.
Okay, so you do that.
I'll be right back.
We got you covered,
Maybe make
and
sure I mute before I do this.
Oh,
oh,
please.
please do. Yeah. Oh yeah.
This isn't
Well,
an R-rated show.
that is correct. I'm happy to see the usual suspects are on with us. Baz from Down Under is another content provider, streamer, very talented from Australia that always stops in. Dave, of course, Dave Francoeur, also a creator. He does a lot of photography stuff, like so kind of sort of in your world, Joe. He works with sci-fi images, and he's really good at putting himself into some of that stuff, and has a lot of fun with classic sci-fi. So he's with us tonight as well. And I'm glad that you're here and he's here. So I know that he enjoys all that photography stuff. But so Kelvin, you don't really do a lot of, or at least as many cons as Chris and I have been putting, just kind of mixing into the amount of time that we can. And I know that you're more settled on your area of expertise. Is that correct, Kelvin? Or, I mean,
Yeah,
you try to go outside?
Well, I tip. So when in the model building world, instead of having conventions, you end up having model shows. There are usually local model shows. As a matter of fact, I went to one last week in Topeka. It was being presented by
Really?
a local model, a model club. And I'm always famous for saying, you're building a model in your basement by yourself. But there are clubs out there, and you don't have to. And that's one of the things I'm going to do later this month. I'm going to go. They're having a Christmas party get together, and I'm going to go and interview that model club and talk a little bit about that. Some of the stuff they did was fantastic. I mean, they're one of my favorite models in the whole contest. And model contests cover armor, planes, tanks, cars, just the whole gambit. I just choose to stick with the sci-fi stuff, but one of the modelers has scratch built a model from the truck from the movie Duel. Remember that the movie with about the big truck that was chasing the guy, and we weren't sure by the end of it if it was the devil in the truck or what. I remember that movie scaring the bejesus out of me. I mean, I couldn't even drive.
That's awesome. But
he made a model of that kit, and it looked fabulous.
So speaking of conventions, we did, Chris and I, we did New York Comic Con, and as we were trying to set up for the day's shoot, we happened to select a corner. It was corner like on an aisle, and out of the entire space that we were at, New York Comic Con is huge, Kelvin. It's really, really big. We happened to set up where we were. We put our bags down, and we're getting ready to, start doing our interviewing. And I look over, and there's Joe. And Joe's like, "Hey, guys, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" But, and we start talking to him just casually, and he's in his booth. He's got his whole setup, but it's so random because we could have just as easily taken 5 steps away and gotten our packs out and our gear out and started interviewing and gone a total different direction, but instead it just happenstance
Fate brought us together.
And Joe's like, hey, Joe started talking to us. We started talking to Joe, and we did a mini interview with Joe, and then we find out that Joe, you do Awesome Con. Never mind, like this, your stuff. You're an artist and you have your own products. You have your own stuff that you put out, which is just in and of itself so cool and incredible. And that you're a writer, a director, photographer, and you have your own photo company too, right? Is that basically what it is?
That's right. As you can see,
Astray
Productions.
Astray Productions, cool, man. So Joe, welcome to the show, man. Tell us about everything that you do, man, and explain it, because you do a lot of stuff, and we're really happy that you made it, and thank you for being patient with us. But let it out, man. Tell us about your stuff.
To be honest, I'm actually really thankful for your patience, because you know how a working day goes. I was literally just you can see it behind me. I was just literally editing a test shoot for a film that I have coming up. You know what happens? You get excited, and you want to keep on going, and all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I gotta get my stuff ready for the podcast, man. I got carried away. But if you want an exclusive, there's a little screenshot back there.
Nice.
But yeah, really, in all honesty, one of the things that did grab me when you guys were setting up next to the Curl Studio booth, we've been doing New York Comic Con for, I don't know, maybe over 10 years, whenever 2007 was. It's just me being the gearhead and the filmmaker that I am. I see film gear, I must see what's going on. you guys took out, you had your camera, you had your sound gear out, and like I had to be in it. And I was like, hey, so what are you guys doing? And then all of a sudden we clicked. You told me what's going on. That's just, in a way, that's how filmmakers connect. When I was growing up, I was a shy kid, and I didn't really talk to a lot of people. But there was something about when you become a filmmaker and that sort of go-getter attitude, you gotta like not be afraid to ask people, anything really. Do you want to be in this movie? You want to be an extra? What do you think about acting? Or like, can we use this location? So many things. So that the filmmaker mind just sort of kicked in when I saw you guys. So it's really quite that simple. But yeah, so the long story short, I feel like in my career, I feel like the term is I failed up. Like I wanted to be a cartoonist, and I didn't feel like I was good enough. I tried. I wanted to be a comic book penciler. I didn't think I was good enough, so I was like, maybe I'll be a photographer, And then like I felt like I was pretty solid there, but I felt like I still wasn't hitting that creative nerve, that I guess that it factor that people like to hit. So I was like, okay, what can I do with these skills? Then I was like, okay, maybe I can be a filmmaker. What is filmmaking? I didn't even know that was possible. And the if you want me to if I want to be entertaining, if I want to be like a hardcore filmmaker, I can tell you, oh yeah, I started watching Martin Scorsese movies, and that's what got me into filmmaking, and that's what made it possible. But in all honesty, I was watching a show on the WB called Dawson's Creek.
Oh wow!
The main
Yeah.
character is a filmmaker. And I started to realize, oh wait a minute, you can do this. So I saw that, and that's sort of like this romanticized version of filmmaking. But that's the first notion that clicked into my head, where it's like, people actually make movies. So I saw that, and then slowly I was like gathering the intel through living through Dawson, trying to put that in my real life, like living through that. And then, another short story was like, I didn't take the PSATs, so I didn't take the SATs. What are you going to do? I guess I should go to work. I went to the Fairfax Film Academy, and they had like jobs for anyone who worked there. So I got my foot in the door without taking my SATs by working in the academy that I went to high school with, doing film production. And then 2 years after that, I was like, maybe I should get a degree. so I went to Nova in Northern Virginia Community College, that essentially was one of the best community colleges in the United States. I didn't know that, but they had a great photo and film department. I used those credits, went to VCU, realized I wasn't given, I wasn't being nourished as much. So with my rebellion towards I wasn't learning the filmmaking stuff I wanted to in VCU, I was like, let me start my own, or a group of us were like, let's start our own film festival called Project Resolution, and we would hold that every single month, and we would all make a film and show it every month, and we were just learning on the fly. And then I think through doing that film festival every month, where anyone can show their film and they can get feedback, in Richmond, Virginia, we made Richmond, Virginia one of the top 10 indie filmmaking towns in the whole United States.
Wow.
Just because we wanted to make films, and anyone can show it. So, through that, to just sort of, after you graduate college, you're sort of like, okay, we're already doing this. Let's see how we do this for real. And then I made my first feature film based off of those experiences of making short films, called The Madcap 3. And through that, that was 2007. That was my first feature film. Through that, I started realizing it's not just making a movie, but it actually is getting, the other 50% is getting people out there to see it and learning to promote it and learning to get it out there, and being happy about, not being happy about how you talk, but learning to be comfortable talking to a degree. Then here we are. We just still doing the day job of film production, making other people's films, making other people's commercials, working as a cinematographer and a director. And the Awesome Con thing was an amazing opportunity, because I directed their first commercials. That were, when they were first started, I helped out with the Kickstarter video. I helped out after that. I directed the commercials that they did that went everywhere. And then after that sort of slowed down, I was like, hey, I used to run a film festival. You got Awesome Con is not just comics; it's actually everything, pop culture. And I was like, you guys are missing a filmmaking element, which I've done before. Give me a chance to do this. So the first year started as just like one block, and then every single year we just always add on to it. So now we're at this sort of full force film festival, and it's always interesting because it is different. Because I've been to a lot of film festivals before. I used to run one, so I know the nuts and bolts of how everything is. And what I love about this one is it's sort of like, if you're at the show, anyone can watch this thing. It's not like there's sort of a, it's all inclusive. Everyone can watch these films. We show not just, we actually barely show fan films. That's like a small percentage. We show like I would say the best short films, in the country or in the world. That we get international. We get thousands of submissions. We've gotten thousands of submissions. It's a great thing.
Wow.
I could go crazy with my history.
No,
I used to be a pro wrestler.
What?
Back in the day in high school, Mike, the reason why I went to a film academy outside of my high school was because my own school did not have a filmmaking class. And the closest thing I had to a filmmaking class was I had a group of friends. One of them who is, does work for all the federations right now, named Sanjay Dutt. We started our own backyard wrestling federation, and as we all know, that is very similar to making films. So that was actually my film school locally, was producing the backyard wrestling matches and being in the matches, and also directing behind the scenes of how to put that together. It was called New Wave Wrestling Alliance. It was amazing. My back still hurts.
Is there any of that on video anywhere?
You can actually go to if you guys know pro wrestling, there's a wrestler called Sanjay Dutt. He was in Impact Wrestling. He used to produce for WWE, TNA, and now he's on AEW as a high official producer on that. We were on the Best of Backyard Wrestling Volume 1 and 2, and if you guys ever watched Howard Stern back in the day, I bet everyone did back in the late 90s, they would show the commercial for Best of Backyard Wrestling every single commercial break on the Howard Stern show on E. It was that next to Girls Gone Wild, because it was produced by Girls Gone Wild. They were literally getting the same eyes as Girls Gone Wild on Backyard Wrestling. So we're both on Volume 1 and 2. You can see us in the commercial. You used to be able to buy this DVD in Best Buy and all those stores, but now you can watch our matches, or what's left of them, on YouTube. So
I watched them when you guys.
I think the Girls Gone Wild guy got in trouble. So
what they were back. I don't know, where did you broadcast that stuff back in the day? Because I remember seeing it. It must have been out on somewhere, because I remember watching some of that stuff saying, what the heck are those guys doing?
Yeah, it was there. It was a crazy. There was a thing where WWE had to literally put the "please do not try this at home." I don't know if you guys remember that, before every show, and that's because of Backyard Wrestling, of us copying them. Because we would literally do that and be like, WWF.
Wow, that's insane. Mike DeBron, thanks for joining us. Mike, appreciate it, from Texas. And George Zuvalos, one of our co-producers, is on. As a matter of fact, I'm working with George Zuvalos on a shoot that we're going to be doing later in December for one of his feature-length movies. He just won Best Actor in I believe the classification is microfilm in the Florence Film Festival in Italy. So congratulations, George Zuvalos. Glad that you're part of the team, and thanks for being on. And we have a heck of a lot to talk about. So between wrestling and filmmaking and Awesome Con, we've been Chris and I both have actually been to the last two. I missed the last Awesome Con, but the one before that, I went to the film festival, the screenings that you did, and I got to see some stuff that was just insane. and I know Chris actually attended both of them. So we are intimate. We have intimate knowledge on what it is that you put together when it comes to the film festivals at AwesomeCon, and very, very impressive. And looking forward to the next AwesomeCon. Of course, are you going to be involved?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's something that you still do. I mean, you're all over the place.
I'm already involved.
Cool.
I'm pitching guests. I'm pitching guests for them to get as every single day.
Awesome.
The film festival submissions are happening as we speak. If anyone who's watching this wants to submit to the AwesomeCon Short Film Festival, you can go to AstrayProductions.com, and we have a link to the film festival that you can just go and submit your film on Film Freeway. So it's easy. You can just Google AwesomeCon Short Film Festival, or you go to AwesomeCon.com or AstrayProductions.com, and you can submit your film. And it's tough, man. I'm not going to say it's easy to get in that film festival, sir. It's a lot of submissions and a lot of great films. It's sort of it's heartbreaking actually to put that together, knowing that there's so many great movies that won't get in.
Wow.
So does that mean that you have to watch all the video? You have to watch all those submissions and then choose? I mean, is there a team of directors that chooses which ones that go in and which one don't? But you end up seeing them all, correct?
So I can break down. I can I can peel back the onion a little bit. So yes, people crap on a lot of film festivals for saying people don't watch all the films. I will say that I do watch every film that goes in there, but I'll also be really honest with you to this next degree. Do I finish them all? That depends on the film. That depends on the film.
That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do see. I'm the first wave of attack. So it gets to me, and then it goes to. I do have select special judges, different every single year, or majority of the time different every year, and then it goes through them, and it's out of my hands. So you can bribe me all you want, but that just gets you to the door. So, and the judges are amazing. We got people who work in the business, some writers from TV shows, some producers, people who work in production. They work on that. So it's not just I don't know. I guess it's people who you'd want to have their opinions on. I think is the most important part.
Cool, very cool. As a matter of fact, our very own George Zuvalos just said that we have 4 films we can submit today. How much is a submission cost? What's the is there a cost involved?
So right now we are technically still in the early bird, which I think ends off the top of my head maybe in like a week and a half. So right now is the cheapest. I think it's 10 or 15, which is dirt cheap if you look at a lot of film festivals right now. But that's the last chance.
Yeah.
Early birds gets that good cheap price. After that, it will go back to that normal price, which I think is like double that or more. I forget off the top of my head. I don't want to quote like a wrong number, but it will go higher. So you have 2 weeks. I think you'll be able to see if you go to the website. But yeah, you might as well submit now, and then grease my pocket to get to get to the door.
Never mind the discount coupon. You're not getting one, George. Just send the stuff up. If you got all 4 of those, I bet you some of them. I believe some of them were finalists. Joe, some of the stuff that George and we've been involved in on the outside have been. If we're thinking about the same stuff, they've been finalists at other film festivals. So I think George is gonna send you some stuff. So you get something.
You can bribe me all you want, man.
Oh, so
it is
so
quite amazing.
We're gonna find out what your drink is. Cool.
I get lots of emails, people breaking down what makes their film so amazing, and that's why I'm saying it's so heartbreaking because being a filmmaker too, knowing how much people put into these films, knowing how much I put into my films, blood. Oh yeah, just blood. Not even sweat and tears, just blood into these films, and and to have someone judge if it's good or bad, that's horrible.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I did see on this preview screen you guys I saw you posted like the best of backyard wrestling. If you want to break kayfabe for a second, I am on the cover of Volume 1, pile driving someone on top of a car.
Oh, so I got to tell you, Joe, that when I was an undergrad, my fraternity, we actually would do our own pro wrestling in the cafeteria, and so I know how to break a couple of chairs. I can break a couple of chairs and do a pile driver myself, my man. So we need we could talk. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me give you this one. Do you know who Mil Mascaras is?
Yeah, not personally.
Okay, I not only met him personally, I met him without his mask.
How'd you know it was him?
I got to talk to the guy. He was traveling at the airport, and this was not I'd say about 10 years ago. He's fully retired, and I believe he'd gotten, I think by then he was inducted in the Hall of Fame, the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I just started talking to the guy because he was well dressed, and he was actually going to a show in Minneapolis or something, and he was flying through New York. And so he was striking looking, and I was like, so hey, well, what's up, and what are you up to? And he was like, oh, I'm just, I'm heading out to like Minneapolis. I'm like, this guy go Minneapolis, and he's like, what do you do? And he said, oh, well, I'm a semi-retired athlete, and that's how I was like, what? And then I played it off, Joe. I didn't say it was for me. I was like, well, my dad's a big fan of Lucha Libre. And so, I didn't let on that it was me,
you rolled the R.
But,
you rolled the R.
Yeah. Oh, you got it, dude. It was so cool. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I was big into wrestling. I can't speak for my my compadres here, but I met a bunch of these guys locally, going to the Garden. Sergeant Slaughter and Pat Patterson, Texas Death Match in the ring in Madison Square Garden before Pat Patterson retired. So I'm, Bob Backlund and Bruno Sammartino. I watched them wrestle for the last time at a sellout at the Garden. So anyway, that's a little bit of my wrestling background. So I don't know, Kelvin, any wrestling in your background?
No. I did as a kid try and put one of my brothers in a sleeper hold. Didn't work. Mom was not happy. Mom was going to put me in a sleeper hold. Okay, so that's all
That's a great story, man. That's a great one. Good. Chris, you didn't have anybody to wrestle with. You were an only child, and
and we'd go to we'd go watch it in Wyoming. Roddy Piper and
nice.
The heck's the big guy?
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. Yep. Every time they would come through, my stepdad would take me to the show. Local
arena. Yeah, awesome. Oh,
the arena.
Cool.
It was such a local arena. It was at the fairgrounds. So that tells you.
Wow.
At that point in time, and I can't remember the one of the favorites was he's a Russian, and he always came into the ring with one of the toy dogs that he pulled behind him. Oh my gosh! It was part of his stick. It had a little one of the little doggy things. The pull dogs that had the weird wheels that made it barked as he pulled it, and he would pretend it was all his dog, and he would pet it, and it was. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Ivan something. It was amazing.
Sergeant Slaughter versus the Iron Sheik. How about
Iron
that?
Sheik, yep.
Oh, yeah, Iron Sheik.
That was pay-per-view.
What was the guy that had the green tongue? Bald head, green tongue. Well, I'm dating myself.
See,
you're talking about George the Animal Steel.
This is what I love about pro wrestling.
That's it.
Go ahead. You're saying what you love about pro wrestling?
Pro wrestling, I'm not going to lie, but when pro wrestling is done perfectly, you're not going to get another feeling like that with any other work of art anywhere. Like when there's a heel turn where you get or a comeback or even some comedy or just the journey you can follow through a character, that you can
Yep.
invest so much in time in. You get to see it in real life too. That these are real people, playing these amazing characters. You're not going to get that anywhere else. It's so amazing.
Who was always on TV, and it was like he would always interview the Hulk and everybody else. Who was the MC? The guy who was always.
Gene?
That's it.
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Gene, yes.
That was
Mean
so
was a
awesome.
wrestler. He had been a wrestler
It's
as
so
well.
cool though. I'm always gonna stand by my love of professional wrestling. I graduated college because I wrote a paper that was called "How is Pro Wrestling Real?" I was fought on that from day one of that paper. They're like, you're never going to prove how pro wrestling is real. Because you know what? I was on another podcast, and it was about like we were supposed to list like what are the things that we hate, like list your top 10 things you hate. And one of the things I said was like, people will always fight me that pro wrestling is fake. So I just love the idea of writing a paper of like, so how is pro wrestling real? And just going through that, and I was like, and showing my teacher who you knew, I could see her, and I knew that she really hated the idea of pro wrestling. You know people.
Yeah.
Like, pro wrestling, please, that's not serious at all. But through this paper, I broke it down. And there's no way I can list it to you now, but I did all the elements of how it relates to life, how it's one of the purest forms of art. It draws from everything around us. The emotion you feel is real. The characters they portray are based off of reality, amped up. There's so much that is real that it's so embarrassing when a person's like, you love pro wrestling? I can't believe you. And then they love movies. It's like, or you love other stuff. That's fake.
Exactly.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm always a big believer that there's I'm a big believer that there's something in pro wrestling for everyone.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
It's a big draw at the cons too. We went to Knoxville, and that was who was it?
I can tell you that
not Jake the Snake.
Jerry the King Lawler.
That's it.
Had a huge draw.
line. It's probably one of the bigger, one of the bigger lines in the entire. I mean, there's other stars there, but his line was the biggest.
And, you know what else I do love about pro wrestling is when the wrestlers, they still stay in character in real life. So when they have to walk the street and they still got to be like the evil Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
And just knowing like, oh man, he's going to play this the whole time.
The Iron Sheik.
Oh, just slaughters like that. Greg the Hammer Valentine has he's a little bit like that. I've met a bunch of these guys because I'm from that old time wrestling. But Jake the Snake Roberts was at the convention we went to as well in Knoxville, and it was incredible to draw. But they're on a stage, and all this stuff is written out. It's great. It's great stuff. It's great entertainment. They play archetypes, right? There's the good and the bad, and it's like theater. But they're athletes. It's
And
really
I was about to
cool.
say, and it's a serious. I mean, you have to be in good shape to even do what they're doing.
And also another
yeah,
level
no
is
joke.
when people do say that it's scripted, the thing is though, there's actually a lot of improv that happens too. A lot of thinking on your feet, just like stage. Not everything goes according to plan, but you got somehow the show still continues.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! Whether it's a broken finger or arm or whatever the heck it may be, things happen all the time. But so Joe, this is great. We just touched the tip of the iceberg. We definitely have to have you come back and dedicate the way more than the time than we did this time. We definitely gotta, because there's so much more. We barely just touched anything, man. Your photography. Tell us about photography, though. Come on.
So, I don't know. It's a tough thing to talk about. It's one of those things where it has a mind of its own because, I went through being a filmmaker, but I had photo skills because for me, I'm a big believer. If you're a cinematographer, you should understand the image. I always teach, like when I teach filmmaking workshops, like you should always have a camera on you. You should always be visualizing. There's images everywhere that you can capture. So with my photography, it sort of blew up. It sort of blew up in a way that, like, I came out with a book. I think I have it over here. Let me get it.
Thunk.
So I have my first Astray book here.
Nice.
That, which way is it?
It's always backwards.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always backward. This is the first collection of all, not all, but like the first collection of a select few of, say, my editorial photography. And I worked with a lot of models. I've done commercial photography, I've done editorial, I've done magazine stuff, and like with everyone, once we're done doing the commercial work, once we have projects in mind, we always develop our own type of images or stories that we want to tell. And so of course we produce our own shoots, and I develop these awesome relationships with a lot of amazing talent. And we have all these ideas that we want to shoot in. It goes from editorial to to pin up to, I don't know, I've so many burlesque friends, and burlesque, I don't know if you guys have ever hung out with burlesque dancers, but they're the greatest minds that you'll ever see.
Huh.
And the main reason is this: they're already going out there stripping and telling a story. So there is like that, once you reach that level of line, like, a normal person, they don't want to be naked, right? But these burlesque dancers are telling stories with their bodies, and and the art of the tease. These people, it's another level, like pro wrestling. They have such a life experience and stories that they can tell that it's just mind-blowing, that like the ideas you can develop, it's sort of like this unhinged creativity that they have. And that's so inspiring. Like, I've worked with Angie Pontani, who's, I'm a big believer that she is with her and the Pontani sisters, they sort of started like the new neo-burlesque movement, sort of like how the Ramones started like the punk movement. They did that as well in contemporary times. And I love the ideas and just the philosophy all these ladies have. So I have that connection of, just working in that world. So yeah, with the Astray book, it's a collection of my photography. Of course, you can buy that on the AstrayProductions.com. We have number 1 and number 2 just came out at Baltimore Comic-Con a few weeks ago. It feels like such a long time ago, but it was only probably like a month ago. So yeah, I have a lot of that stuff. I love photography. It's a great thing. Sometimes I feel like I gotta divide my worlds though. Some photographers, they don't have the filmmaking mindset.
Joe, you do so many things, and you're so creative, right? So between the writing, directing, you're in the business, and with the photography and the publishing of your work, of course you got.
Is that the page?
Yeah.
We're gonna put it right up.
Go to, because that's not me. Go to joecarabeo.com.
Sorry.
You'll be able to find. It'll be a great list of imagery, and you can see the sort of style, which are some of the stuff that's in my book.
Cool.
All right, help me.
So where else do you have
Carabeo?
Carabeo.
Joe, where else do you have your material up? Do you have anything going on Amazon, or is it just on your website?
So what's great about my website is, even if my stuff, so go to photography and then color. That's sort of like a good example, and I just uploaded some new stuff up there too.
Cool.
So this is a good example of, I guess my style of work, at least in the color world. So what's cool about my website is they have links to everywhere it needs to go. So even if it's on Amazon, you can go and look at it. You can find a link to it on the website, and it'll take you to Amazon. So Amazon does have a lot of my films on there.
Cool. All right. Very cool. Yeah. So, Joe, we want to have you back again when you have free time. As a matter of fact, open invitation. Chris and I, we're doing a marathon streaming show, and it's going to be a 6-hour show. I would love to have you come on. So we're going to start at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to go to midnight. So if you're available, we would definitely open invitation. We definitely want you to come. It's January 6th. January 6th, 2023, Friday, starts at 6 p.m. Mediocre Modeler that's with us now, Kelvin, is actually going to do an interview segment. He's going to do a simultaneous broadcast to his media channel, and he's going to be interviewing us somewhere. I believe we said 8 o'clock. So he has an 8 o'clock time slot. So I would like to get with you and get you a time slot during the marathon for you to come on. We'd love to have you come back and talk some more about all the things that you do.
Still think I should have been a 24-hour broadcast.
I'm always down. I'm happy I was able to make it on.
Yeah, man. So the 6th. As a matter of fact, our man George Zuvalo says all 4 of the films just submitted. So fingers crossed, George, that one of those makes it through all the way. We'd love to have that screen.
What's the names of the films? Do you know the names of the films?
George, if you want to, I believe one of them is going to be TNG, if I'm not mistaken. But if you kind of post those up real quick, we'll pass that on the air, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we get something into the All-Con Film Festival. Would be a nice feather in the cap, just because we want to try to make an impact in the sci-fi world as well, and a little bit outside of just the regular film festivals, like the international ones. So it'd be kind of cool to start, marrying up a little bit of the sci-fi convention thing and the work that's being done. Let me see if George is...
So you can see there's the link to Awesome Con Short Film Festival right there.
Yep.
I'd like to see Joe spin to somebody's wife. Yes, I'm going to this burlesque show to understand the art of the body.
Well, there's a huge story behind that, because at the same time, I do have me and my wife make a comic book called The Legettes, which is actually about a group of burlesque dancers that are super spies trying to save the universe.
No way.
And that actually started because...
That's fantastic.
I got to look that one up.
I think it's pretty awesome, too. One of my goals is to somehow get this book in the hands of Lady Gaga, because there's a character on there that I think, like, if we ever make this movie, The Legettes into a movie, she'd be an awesome character to play Gwen. So hopefully one day Lady Gaga can check out The Legettes, too. I know she's busy, but it'd be cool to be involved with Lady Gaga.
That's a cool name.
How do you spell it?
The Legettes, that's a really cool name.
How do you spell it?
Legettettes.
Oh, I got too many G's.
Joe, I got some titles for you. Well, Next Generation, all jokes aside, definitely Soy, and Ashes to Ashes.
Nice. Okay, I'll look out for those.
Very cool.
I can't find the Legettes comic. Legetts?
I can't really see how small the screen is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of small, but so when you get a chance, Joe, let's exchange some information on that January 6th, because I want to make sure we get you in, and we're going to be doing it on this platform, so it should be a little smoother than it was tonight.
And I'll be there,
But,
and the Cylons will be engaged to help out.
Amen.
Hopefully,
Amen to that.
Hopefully, I'm able to use my usual setup for this stuff. This is just playing off of my tablet. But like, I have the camera and all this stuff. I don't even know why it's not linking into it. But the best part is, I made it.
There you go.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Simper Gumby.
Thank you so much.
Always flexible.
Thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate your time, and we love hearing your stories and interacting, man. So let's do this again. Open door for
Absolutely.
you anytime. And all right, so yeah, for sure. January 6th, we're going to lock down a time for you, and then after that, for sure, we'll have you come back again, and we'll have you center stage on IFB. It's a pleasure, and I want to say it was meant to be, because it's just so random the way we linked up at New York Comic Con. So, Joe, thank you very, very much. Appreciate your time.
In here. January 6th, I'm putting it in my phone.
You're the man. All right, perfect.
My phone looks crazy right here. It looks nuts. This is like the
perfect. We just got to get you a time slot, and you're in.
This phone, like, it looks like it controls the universe with as much
That's
power
it.
it's throwing off.
Excellent. Joe, thank you very much. You stay safe out there, and we're going to link up soon. Never mind Awesome Con. We're definitely going to be there to cover it. So we're going to be working together, I hope, in the near future. So, again, many, many thanks, and looking forward to the future.
Yep, so here's to you, Joe.
And I appreciate you guys.
Fans fuel the fleet, and you are definitely fueling the fleet, sir. So thank you so much.
Here's to you. Kelvin, what are you drinking?
Ace's Pineapple Ale.
Oh, what is it? Is
Yeah.
it sweet though, or is it bitter?
Yeah. It's sweet. It's just got a hint of a pineapple flavor, and just goes down so easily. Just really, I feel bad because I wanted to toast with you, and I wanted to inaugurate my mug.
Yeah.
But I wait.
Well, let's do it now.
Do it now.
We'll do it right
It's
now.
okay.
Right now.
So tonight,
look,
let's see,
Commander
Pete,
Adama says it's a good time.
we can redo it. So Pete, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I am actually doing the Black Widow cider.
That doesn't sound good, Pete. That sounds dangerous.
It is dangerous. It's meant to be dangerous, my friend. Established in 1996.
Anything with a spider on it is definitely not what I want to mess with.
No, you can't.
Ovions I can deal with. Spiders, no.
Yeah. This is from New York.
I agree with you.
Definitely can't deal with this. So don't. This is not for Cylons, my friend. So this is.
So there's that,
this is
and
a
then
Commander
I'm
Adama
drinking Graham Gams.
What the heck?
Oatmeal cookie porter.
No.
And
Graham's Gams.
Graham's Gams. And then Calvin is drinking the pineapple cider.
The Ace's Pineapple Ale, the world's original pineapple cider. Often imitated, but never surpassed.
Oh,
We marry
boy,
pineapple and apple juice.
Oof. Oh, that's
Wait.
good. It's good.
Graham Gams taste just like Grandma's homemade oatmeal cookies. Expect notes of dark roasted malts, spicy cinnamon, sweet raisin, oats, and subtle hint of chocolate. So, with all that said, as we always say here at IFB, the fans do fuel the fleet. So, once again, thank you for being here. We're not leaving. Don't go away. We're not done yet. But we just wanted to kind of reboot here. So we all had a chance to see Kelvin's new... you got to show us what you're drinking it in.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, this way.
that's a
This
custom-
way.
There
There
you
you go.
Custom job. Custom.
Me, I'm drinking wine
Here you go.
in a glass. That's about all I got. So... Ooh. That sounds... Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's one of those relaxing sounds. You're like, man, it's been a long day at work. And now it's
Oh, I
time
bet it was.
to sit back and relax and drink some Gam Gams.
You almost had me there, dude. We were almost.
Almost, dude. Almost.
So anyways, to you and to everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us. Don't go away. We're not leaving, but fans fuel
Nope,
the fleet.
not leaving. But fans fuel the fleet, guys.
Fuel the fleet.
Yes, Dave asked me about the set.
Gam Gams.
As a matter of fact, I do. Here is Apollo, and I have them. So that's Apollo, and Adama I'm drinking out of, and I put the other ones down.
But the Cylon is the best one, so you can just break the other ones.
Oh, the
and throw them
Cylon
away.
is cool. I usually drink out of the Cylon one, Dave.
See?
So yeah, I do. I have four. I have all four of those, and I don't have that special one though. The one that's for, I guess it was.
I do.
The manager's got one, but yeah, it is. There's so
I've got
cool.
that one somewhere. Well, it's at my house or at my apartment. And God, I live so many different places lately.
Yeah.
I'm now
By
in
the way,
Georgia.
Kelvin, George Zuvalo says, Kelvin, that's a diabetic shock in the making.
Okay, yeah. You only live once, man. I mean, come on.
Yes,
5-pound bag
How
of
much more
sugar, just
time do you really
mainline it.
think we have?
Yeah. Just
Which, I don't know, that kind of leads you into Thundar. But
Thundar.
I owe you an apology because at first I wasn't properly dressed for Interfleet Broadcasting. So
I see now he's set. He's
set,
better dressed than I am because I
Yeah,
ran in.
yeah.
I've got.
That's right.
That's all I got. Wait a minute.
Oh,
That's my.
what is that? Put that away. What
That's
is that? Oh, that's
Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Of course. Is there any other shirt besides Dragon Con? I don't
No,
think
there
I own
isn't,
another
but-
shirt besides Dragon Con.
We are going to review Thundar. We're going to talk about Thundar.
Hanna-Barbera.
This is the actual
Actually?
DVD. I bought it, complete series, 4 disc.
When?
Oh, I picked this up a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't
So-
think I've seen Thundar in a long time.
Well,
this is
okay, so it wasn't actually Hanna-Barbera. The guys were trained by the guys from Hanna-Barbera. I think it was
Really?
it was Spears Ruby
heard
that
of that one.
made the yeah. I mean they. So in order to have some context, I looked up some of the shows that were on because Thundar was in 1980. That was 1980. It aired 1980, 1981, and
Oh, boy.
it went 22 episodes. And if you don't know, it was one of probably the best openings for a children's cartoon ever. I mean, do you remember the opening? I wrote it
Heck
down.
yeah. Oh, did you? Awesome. Oh, the
yeah,
narration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the narration. So, you can't get better than this. Okay, so the year 1994, from out of space comes a runaway planet hurtling between the Earth and the Moon. Men's civilization is cast in ruins. 2,000 years later, Earth is reborn. A strange new world rises from the old. A world of savagery, super science, and sorcery. But one man burst his bonds to fight for justice. With his companions, Ukla the Mock and Princess Ariel, he pits his strength, his courage, and his fabulous sun sword against the forces of evil. He is Thundar the Barbarian. I mean, every week I had to make sure I was in front of the TV to see that part. And the thing about it was, one of the creators, Joe Ruby, he was talking about how he didn't really want to go into the past. He liked science fiction, but at the time, Frazetta was very popular. You know, the Frazetta drawings, and he was doing a lot of, just
He did Battlestar
Conan
too, yeah.
type. Yeah. But they wanted something in the future, which put them doing something that was post-apocalyptic. Well, they had two choices. They had nuclear or natural. And so, since it was a Saturday morning's kids show, they didn't want to scare the kids by making them think that they were going to die in a nuclear
world's gonna end.
explosion. Yeah. So, a planet hurling between the Earth and the Moon was a much better choice.
Yes.
I mean, it's split in half. Everything is. Okay, all right, sure, why not? But see, the thing that gets me about Thundar was it had to be recognizable. I mean, you look in the intro. It's 2,000 years. 2,000 years from when, past the disaster. Well, that beetle that Ukla picks up and throws in the intro, Well,
Yeah.
that thing looked like you just slapped some wheels on it and drive away. It didn't look like it was 2,000 years old. You know, but in order for us to connect with it, it had to be places that we understood, that we knew. So if they went to Los Angeles, you could see the Hollywood sign, or there was one episode where there was the Statue of Liberty, you know.
DC.
So, yeah. So I mean, that was it was something that we could all connect with. But Thundar, some of his sayings, Lords of Light. I mean,
Lords
we had all
of
these
Light.
kids running around talking, Lords of Light, devil dogs. I mean, can you imagine the guy sitting here writing like, oh, Lords of Light? Yeah, that's a good one.
James
But it was
McCoy
great.
says, "We ride."
We ride. Yes, I remember that.
We ride.
The
Oh
one
my
that got
gosh.
me, I caught a snippet. When he would jump at someone, sometimes he would he. Okay, but it was Thundar, man.
Oh my God,
you know,
It's
yeah.
so cool.
They actually have pops.
Yes.
they have what?
They do?
Pops.
Yeah, they do. Ookla. I almost bought an Ookla Pops, Funko Pop, because
I didn't know they had pops.
Oh, I didn't know they had pops.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me help you
They're
spend some money. Here,
limited.
hang on.
Oh, see, Thundar. That's cool in
And
the box.
that's not
but-
bad.
No.
No, but the one that I wanted was the Ookla, because when you see Ookla, you know exactly what it is. The Thundar, you're like, all right, but if you take Ookla out of the box, you're like, oh, that's Ookla
Yeah,
from,
find
you know,
Ookla.
Thundar the Barbarian, yeah.
All right, how do you spell
So-
Ookla?
Ookla.
There you go.
There he is, right there, 39. Woof.
You know what's funny is, so I mean, a lot of this stuff is just kind of riffs from Star Wars. You know, sun sword, lightsaber. Oogla's
Yeah,
Chewbacca.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
which is-
you got a point.
which is fine.
But wait a minute, what was the year of this? This was what?
Well, 2000 past 1994.
Oh, 94, okay.
Oh, you meant what that this was supposed to be
Thundar.
airing in, or the air?
Thundar was
okay,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. 94.
You know,
No.
but the way they mixed. No, it aired in 81, but
Okay.
the disaster was
78.
94, so it was
81.
2000 past.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
I think. Can you think of another show that mixed science fiction with barbarism, with sorcery, all in the same one, where it all worked? I mean, you had guys that were owls, you know,
Go ahead.
owl
The
people, and
Herculoids.
frog
Herculoids.
people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Herculoids.
No, you're right. You're right.
Isn't that the one that had the
But
little
what's the-
guy that shot the little thing out of his nose?
There was a.
No, it was like the six-legged ram
Yeah.
thing that shot it out
yeah,
of his
he's
head.
cool. He
Yeah.
could shoot. Yeah, exactly.
Which one had Shmoo?
Yeah. Oh, He-Man. What about
Shmoo.
He-Man?
Was Shmoo and He-Man?
No, no, that was Orko.
Orko.
The
Yeah,
little-
Orko was the little, the big zero on his chest. Or the O on his
Yes.
chest.
Are you thinking of the Thundercats with Snarf? Snarf.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Snarf, snarf.
This is making it all into
Yeah.
like one big.
We're crossing the streams. We're crossing the streams.
Yeah, no, man. No. Thundar is one thing, and the Herculoids is another, which is also cool. But I think if you had to choose, Kelvin, if we were going to choose between the Herculoids and Thundar the Barbarian, which one, man? That's tough. It's tough.
I'm gonna
Yeah, see?
have to go with Thundar because just that opening story is just so great.
It
You
is.
know, I mean, and we haven't even talked about. See, I was looking at Princess Ariel, and I'm like, she looks kind of like Athena.
Oh.
Like, oh,
Little
but
bit.
Chris might like
Chris is
that.
now going to go watch it. just gonna watch it. Here you go. I got the DVDs, buddy.
I don't know. It's not quite Athena looking.
Thundar.
No.
What's Space Ghost? No Space Ghost. Get out of here. It's either Herculoids
Space
or
Ghost.
Thundar. Ghost.
You know,
No.
my problem with Space Ghost was it was just too. It wasn't as serious as it could be, and they were really short.
Exactly. Yep. That's it.
They were just
That's
too
it.
short.
Exactly. So I think my vote is Thundar, the six-legged rhino that shot round missiles out of its horn. Yes, that's Tundro. But Dave Francoeur says Thundar definitely. I agree. I'm a big Thundar fan. I mean, if I got a chance, I think I don't know, guys. Do you know if the Herculoids are out on DVD? Because I wouldn't mind picking that up as well, because this is really cool. I got to tell you, Kelvin, watching them like back to back, like binge watching them. I watched half. I went through half of them, and then I got distracted. But they're really cool. I don't know if Chris, did you? You may not have gotten to see that. I have my look.
Yeah,
my Viper
there's only one problem with that. It's not destroyed.
Yeah, well, whatever. I have the Raider too, so one of these days I'll bring out the whole set and I'll show you guys all.
There you
of
go.
them.
You mentioned the Herculoids. You can get the complete series on Blu-ray for $24.
Ooh,
that's not bad.
Blu-ray. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a Christmas present right there. I'm getting that for sure. I did have to bring something up. There was a comment that Jeff Walters mentioned when we were talking about the wrestling, and he said that he has good intelligence on a special move that the Imperious leader has with Lucifer as a tag team. And what he does is he picks up Lucifer, throws him, and he is called the Galactic Torpedo, which takes out the other guys almost immediately. And I could not let that go by about Imperious leader and Lucifer tag team champs. Yeah, I thought that was really funny, so I had to bring that up. Black Star. Jeff, Black Star is not even a choice. It's either Thundar or Herculoids and Tundro. That's right, James. Tundro.
See, I liked Black Star a little bit because wasn't that the one where there was a split sword? There was a good guy. Like one guy had half the sword, and the other guy had the other half. And then if you put them together, that was kind of the struggle of the whole animated. I kind of
don't remember that one.
But it's.
I don't remember that one.
No.
Well, okay. The sad thing to me about Thundar is, do you know why it was canceled? It was canceled to make room for Laverne and Shirley in the Army.
No.
What?
Yeah. Well,
come
some of the
No.
So some of the other shows that they had on at that time were Fonzie and the whatever gang, so he had a Fonzie TV show. You had Drac Pack, you had Fang Face. I mean, and so there was Batman and Super 7 was on. You always had Bugs Bunny and Scooby Doo, but to fill that genre of science fiction fantasy, the only thing you really had was Thundar. And since Laverne and Shirley, I guess, was really popular in the evening time, I don't know how they thought they were going to capture a 10-year-old kid with a Laverne and Shirley cartoon.
That was so
I don't understand the thinking there,
Yeah.
So
I don't even remember that show, that Laverne and Shirley in the Army.
Oh yeah,
because it was just that good.
I never watched it. Yeah, I remember it well. Didn't watch it. So Lenny and Squiggy in the Marines. Really?
There you go.
Please no.
I found a picture of Laverne and Shirley in the Army.
Yes, I remember. It was.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah,
Never
it wasn't
watched
good.
it.
I can't.
Ever.
I don't think it. It probably maybe went one season.
Yeah,
And
if
you
that.
know
Oh,
what's
God.
would be really interesting. Saturday morning cartoons is it's almost a topic in and of itself.
I
And
miss
watching the
Saturday morning
progression.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Why they're on all the time now? And see, that was the thing about Thundar. Thundar came on at like 11 o'clock, and I knew that was probably you're getting really close to the end of the Saturday morning cartoons. It was Thundar, something else, and then like American Bandstand, and then you were done, and then it was time to go out and play.
Yeah. That's right. American Bandstand. Once that came on, you were like, okay, you're over.
Yeah,
Day's over.
got to go outside.
Yep, time to go outside and play.
That's right. So, see, John Repper, man, I love John. Somewhere out in space live the Herculoids with Xandor, their leader, his wife Tara, his son Dorno, Igloo, the giant rock ape, Tundro, the magnificent, Zoc, the laser ray dragon, Gloop and Gleep, the
Gloop
fearless,
and Gleep. I forgot about those.
Gloop and
all
Gleep.
brave, all strong, the Herculoids. Thanks, John. That's cool.
Gloop
Yeah,
and Gleep.
see, they knew how to write an intro back then, man.
So cool,
Rock
man.
8, no, dude. They
Yeah.
had some cool
Yeah.
creatures. They really did.
No, yeah, it was
So,
cool. I thought it was good, but I don't know. There was something about the Thundar, especially like, so I had read something about, like the opening when Thundar's fighting in the arena. The opening of the actual show was, I believe it was the trailer, the sizzle reel that they used to pitch the show, and from there when they greenlit it, that's when they started making the rest of the series, because we never really found out how like the backstory to Thundar, and that whole arena thing, and they never they didn't get into it. It was never pulled from an episode. I think they would just they made that.
and I think that's a shame because I would have loved to see where did he get the sun sword? How, was it created? Did he take it from someone? I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing with Thundar, it's like they were always traveling. It's just like they never had a home base or anything. They were every week they're someplace
No.
else,
Oh,
which
yeah.
which makes sense. But I'm just like, don't you want to go home and like kick back and drink a
Party?
A pineapple infused, yes.
Or if it's Pete's case, it's some
No.
poisonous spider cider.
Yeah, well,
Wait a second. I just got this in the chat. Carl Cullenschmidt just said, research says Anne Lockhart did voices for Thundar.
really?
That's insane. We got to find out if we got to verify that. That has to be verified because that's
Look it up.
insanity. Oh my God, that's so cool if that's true, man. Oh boy. No, there's more reason to love it.
Yeah.
This-
Oh,
that-
definitely, definitely. I thought.
By the way, Kelvin, you got compliments on your weapons wall.
No, thank you. Yeah, that got me kicked off of YouTube one day.
What?
What?
No,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
stuff.
I was right. I was trying to do a video about the differences between just old school scratch building and 3D printing, and I went over and I picked up one of the off the wall, and they kicked me for they don't want to show people handling guns on YouTube.
No.
What?
So I did
God.
get the following day. They said, because they sent me a message telling me why they kicked it, and I said, hey, these aren't even real guns. These are basically toys. So you should get some perspective. And so after our review, we have seen that you are correct, and blah 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 blah. Well, I deleted it already. So
Yeah.
I did do a follow-up video, and I go,
man.
this gun and that gun.
Yes, because you were
she
handling
did.
them. Chris Laskowski from Down Under. Because you were handling them. Really? They're
Yes.
fake, man. Yeah. The Overlords. That's
Yeah.
right, Mike. Unbelievable. So,
Yep, the Ann
Kelvin,
Lockhart did
what?
do some voices on Thundar.
Yes! Yes!
I was looking it
Excellent!
up.
The pet dog noises in Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Oh, wow. Did not know that. That is so freaking cool.
Hey, if
Kelvin,
it pays the bills,
what,
man.
what else? Yeah, you gotta, but that's so cool. That's nothing to be ashamed of either. What's on your agenda? I know, you know, there's never a shortage on models. So I know that you're
No.
always doing something. And the last live, you did a live one. You scratch built some stuff. So where are you going with your your stuff?
Well, so you see this wrong side. See this lit case behind me, right
Yeah.
there? Yeah. So
Yeah.
a long time before I moved, I had taken it down, and I had this idea for Battlestar Galactica because in Battlestar Galactica, how many ships were supposed to be in the fleet? 200.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
The book says one thing, the movie says another. So,
Okay. So that being the case, how many do we actually see? That we get like really intimate
There's a
with.
few.
I think there's only like
Yeah, there's a
maybe
few.
14.
maybe 17.
So
yeah.
you get the Galactica, the Celestra, the aggro ship, the prison barge, Colonial Movers, the Rising Star, the Gemini freighter, the mining ship, and then the flat top. Right? Those are the only ones that you really get that kind of get some love in the opening shots.
Isn't
or
the flat
whatever, in
top
flybys.
crap? The refiner.
The Celestra?
Celestra. In the flat top, the Celestra, the same thing?
No. Well, okay. So I looked online to double check my numbers and look at the names, and there's this one page, and I can't remember what it is. If you look up ships of the fleet, like Galactica 1978 ships of the fleet, it's got a listing of those 17. It's got separately listed the flat top and the Celestra, and it's got a couple of other ships that were marked as unknown. But my thought was always, you always got that long shot with a bunch of dots in the back, and so I wanted to build the fleet, and so I had started some ships. So like ships you might know already, like the prison barge. Oh, that's not going to show up. That's white.
That glowed.
Like the Gemini. Let's see if that one looks better.
There you go.
So there was a company.
Oh wow! Oh,
That's
in,
beautiful.
cool.
There's a company it used to be called Federation Models out of Florida, and they would come to Louisville, and they would have these small resin models that were in scale with the old Galactica kit. So I had picked up some of those, but I also wanted to do, and so like Colonial Movers, that's going to be
Oh, love them.
kind of in scale.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
wow.
also wanted to come up with some of my own ships. So do you remember Space Academy?
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a ship that kind of played an homage to that. So I came up with this, asteroid-looking
Ooh.
ship.
Ooh.
Oh,
you
that's
know.
cool.
So and then like the mineral ship, I didn't have the stuff to make, so I made my own mineral ship.
Oh, that's cool. Now,
Yeah.
it was on the why silent runnings? That's not right.
No. That you're thinking of the aggro ship,
Aggro
which
ship,
is the
sorry.
Valley
Yeah.
Forge.
Valley Forge.
It was the Valley Forge. So, but see these three here, those three circles, those are the dome section of the Enterprise, the movie Enterprise.
Oh boy.
So I mean, just you paint them a color, you put some stuff on there. It's what you
Ta-da!
want.
That's cool.
So, this one's for you, Chris. I wanted to make my version of the fuel ship.
Oh,
That's right. You guys
Cylon tanker.
destroyed
So-
those. How dare you?
Well,
Yep, blow
well,
up.
we didn't destroy all of them. We saved
No,
one.
of course not.
Yeah.
We just didn't tell you about it.
We'll
that
have
is
to talk
so
about
cool.
yeah, Commander Kane, murderer. Did I go there? Sorry.
I'm not a Kane
boy.
fan either. I'm
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
All
He's
right,
not.
you guys. All right.
Not a Commander Kane fan. No.
To be fair, do you feel it, Pete? Though, do you feel it? Do you feel the balance of power has kind of shifted towards the Colonials tonight?
Oh no,
It feels
no.
kind of good. Well,
I can turn off the stream. You want to see?
Right.
You want to see the balance of power? Watch this. I'll turn off the stream. The Cylons will win.
Man, they talk about power, and power corrupts. Right, that's it.
Yep, and it's corrupting completely.
He's already corrupt. Dave Francoeur says there were 220 ships. And Kelvin, I want to ask you, did you run across in your research for the ships, somewhere out there is a modeler, and his thing was every ship that you see on the original Battlestar Galactica that gets even a split second on any of the episodes, he's actually was either building or has built. And he had a site where he was, cataloging each one of them. Did you run into that guy?
No, I didn't. But I always thought that would be a cool idea if somebody was to build a studio scale Galactica, and then maybe accept submissions from model builders to fill out the rest of the 220 ships in that fleet.
Oh my God!
But that would be a heck of a long hallway.
I think you're saying targets wrong. 220 targets. You're saying
Oh boy! All right. So Chris Laskowski says Dan Joplin made a few. Don't know who he is, but Kelvin, you might want to write that guy's name down.
Yeah, I think
but there was
Dan
a guy,
was
I
at
know for a fact.
Awesome Con. Not Awesome. All Con.
I'll have to check him out.
Allcon?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one guy, and I don't know who maybe it's Dan, but he was cataloging each one, and supposedly it doesn't exist anymore, so nobody knows, how many models were actually made, and there's no catalog of it. But this guy was doing screenshots, and he was anything that got any type of screen time, even if it was a split second, he was making all of them, and it was like, wow, that's pretty damn cool.
I'll have to look, because the other ships that were on that page, they mentioned the Cylon mine. They also mentioned the Eastern Alliance ship.
Oh yeah,
and there was a little shuttle that I don't remember that they mentioned. So, and then once you start looking into ships from Galactica, it starts to get muddled with the reimagined and, But it's all still good. It's still good stuff.
This one guy, Kelvin, the guy I ran into, or, his work, it was strictly 78. And he took apart, like when the Blu-ray came out, that really helped him out. So he was focusing on the actual fleet. And then, he would he jumped beyond just what was on the film, and he'd reached out, and he's doing a lot of legwork and building these things. So maybe we should try to get him on the show. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. I'd like to talk to him.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. No, Eagle Moss Mike is gone. They folded.
Yeah.
One of the last ships that they did Battlestar was, I think, was the shuttle. They made the shuttle, which was kind of cool. The Canaris shuttle, John Repper says. So
that sounds right.
What ship did the Nomen have? No, unknown. That's something. Yeah, we don't know how the Nomen got into. Whether they got picked up or not.
And they were part of the refugees. And they just kind of stayed in one of their little corners.
Oh, so Carl Kullenschmidt just said that Dan is part of Team BSG Viper. So Carl, maybe you can throw him our way. Maybe we can get in touch with him. It'd be kind of cool to have him on. As a matter of fact, Carl, we got to have you and George come on and talk to us about the state of affairs with the Viper and let us know
Yeah,
what's
they're
going
doing
on.
some updates on the Viper, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
we did.
that.
I did
Looks
see some
good.
of that stuff. So
Looks good.
we let's have him on. Kelvin, I want to go back a little bit on your show, right? Mediocre Modeler and your streaming show. What's your vision now? Are you gonna fill that case, and
Oh yeah.
and how's that gonna play?
That's I think that's going to be one of those situations where it's building by feel. Seeing other things out there and going, well, I like that design, but I want to make it this way. And once you get past those core ships, and that's kind of like the box that people kind of paint themselves into when it comes to some of the model buildings. A lot of guys like to do the studio scale. There's a lot of people that are trying to build some of these movie models using the same exact pieces that Dykstra and some of these guys did from back in the day. And they spend a lot of time looking at videos and hunting stuff down, trying to figure out what these pieces are. But that just kind of keeps you in this little tight box. You don't get the ability to let your imagination run. And I think that's what that's going to do for me. It's going to allow me to get some ships that you've never seen built and go, well, that's really cool. I like the way that looked. I also picked up, and we were talking about the things that you've acquired over the week. You found your Galactica glasses. Well, I found the Razor Crest.
Oh my God!
This 1/72nd scale.
Oh
These.
my God!
Is that a model or is that what? That's not.
Yes, it's a model kit.
Okay.
Yes, it is
Make
a
sure
model
it wasn't.
kit.
I want to make sure it wasn't the Razor Crest that I was supposed to win at New York Comic Con with 501st
boy, here we
Empire
go.
District
Let it go.
that I was totally cheated out of because I was a
Oh my
Cylon,
God.
and that's
Stop. Belly aching.
No, you
It was
know
charity.
what we could do if you could find a Razor Crest model and we could build it together.
oh yeah. It requires painting that I would yeah no.
Man, see, you talk.
That would be funny.
Man, your Cylon looks so good. Your was it Lucifer?
Yeah.
Lucifer. Yeah.
Looked so good. It really did. I mean, once you get the lights,
it's
in
one
too,
color.
Once you get that, oh man.
It's one color. I can do that.
That's one color. You got to get that.
I'm going to show you.
in that.
Let me show you something that's one color.
That's not one color.
That's one color.
That's cool.
Okay, two colors. It's got a little bit red, but it's mainly one color.
That's cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, I got it. That's the Pegasus. Oh. If anything came out of the
Pegasus. It was destroyed. Get over it.
No, it was not. You
Yes,
get over it.
It was
How about the
destroyed. There's no way it would have survived.
Big Lego Razor Crest for $600. You could do Legos, Chris. Come on.
I can do Legos because I have to paint them.
All I hear is Baltar saying, a Cylon saying, "Baltar, I really think you should pay attention to the other Battlestar." Turn, you fool! Turn.
Especially as it explodes.
No, not
That's it.
at all. No. Kelvin, what conventions do you have set for the next calendar year?
The only one I have going that I really have is Wonderfest. I really enjoy Wonderfest because of what it is. I mean, it was designed to be science fiction, horror, and models. Although, like I said, there are local model shows. That's the king of the crop. Again, that's where I won, best in show on my Tesla gun. So I feel like I have to go back.
That was a cool build,
and
by the way.
I gotta top that somehow.
Good luck.
Ooh,
That was
yeah.
great.
Gotta do it.
Challenges.
And then I want to do either some upgrades to my Colonial, not my Mandalorian. Do something, either that, or I want to do a Inquisitor. Go with some kind of Inquisitor build, which I have to start from scratch, which it's only like 5 months away, so I need to start now.
Wow.
No, you gotta wait to the last minute. That's how it works.
Oh, I always do. You do. You know what? You do some of your best work in the last minute because there's
That's
no
it.
room for it's just you got to make a decision. Do
It's
it,
panic.
and live with it.
You gotta. It's panic mode. You pull out all the stops in panic mode.
Well, the other thing that because I don't want to feel like I just sit and talk about models all the time because there's just so many other things to
Right.
talk about. We also got into Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, died 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
R.I.P.
so that
by
with
the
that
way.
right. I mean, that was my Batman right there. That was
Yeah. The voice.
but what that made me do is look at the videos that I had, and then also I had slacked off, so I went down for not necessarily Black Friday, but for over the weekend, I found some of the newer releases. So you got
What is that?
Battle of the Super Sons, and then you've got a Green Lantern,
I don't think
That
I've
was
seen
good.
Battle of the Super
I
Sons.
saw that one. I saw the Green Lantern one.
and
It was
then
good.
I haven't seen the Batman yet, so
Huh.
I need to watch
Oh.
those.
Is that 4K?
So, no, it's just Blu-ray. I don't have
Okay.
anything that can do 4K. I'm not sold on 4K because 4K looks too. I mean, nothing
Too
that looks
good?
life looks like 4K.
It looks too good.
Yeah, life does not look like that. But I mean, if you're into animation, just if you like the Batman series, DC is killing it when it comes
Yeah.
to the animated stuff. They just
Yes.
I buy them sight unseen. And then you follow that up with like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So what they're not doing
Green
in okay, not what was that, Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. This is John Stewart. Okay.
What? I think
That's good.
There's some
I saw it.
movies that
I saw it
you
a couple weeks ago. It
you
was
don't
good.
want to claim, and I think Ryan Reynolds will claim that the Green Lantern is the movie he does not want to
Green
claim.
Lantern, it was what it
that
was. It
movie was
wasn't
bad.
great. It was.
You're so forgiving, Pete.
No, yeah, Pete.
Yeah.
Pete, face it,
No.
it was bad.
It was bad.
It was. It was.
When the
it was
star of the movie says it
horribly
was bad,
bad.
it was bad.
horribly bad.
They really dropped the ball on it. It could have been. It could
They
have been a
dropped the
great
ball.
Green Lantern.
They dropped the
Yeah,
world
it
on
could
that
have been-
sucker.
No. I don't think so. It's it's not a
They
great movie,
dropped
and I don't know
a
if you
big
watched
green
it.
egg on that thing, man.
It could have been better, but it was.
It could have been
It's-
better.
it's-
I don't think it could have been worse.
Look, how many movies? Oh yes, it could have. It could have.
No, it could have been. It was worse than Galactica 1980. That says something.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
See, I don't know about that.
that was Galactic. It was
I can't
Galactica
completely disagree
1980
with
bad.
I don't know, guys. I'm not sure. It's
It was
been a while.
Johnny Dangerously
I don't-
bad.
Oh, ouch! I don't know. Johnny Dangerously is
ask you this.
horrible.
What are you watching on TV now?
I just got finished with Andor, and I've got mixed feelings about that. I want to do a video on that, but I'm
like
actually kind of looking for something to watch. I've been kind of flipping through. So there's one called 1899.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I can't.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I
it's a hard start.
it.
No, hold on,
Okay,
guys.
the
How
premise
far
looks
have you gotten
good.
in? How
What?
far did you
I've
get
not
in?
watched it at all.
I got into the first
Okay.
episode, the first 15 minutes, and I'm like,
Nope.
I'm bored.
No, it's once you get past the second episode, there's some stuff that happens, and it's like, what the heck? And the sci-fi kicks in, and it's like, oh, this is glorious. This is great. It's like, what the?
I'll see if I can make it that far, but the first 15 minutes I was
no.
like, I'll go
it's
watch
good.
something else.
No. I was like, as soon as the end of that episode, I was like, oh, now I'm totally committed. So I was feeling
I
that.
will give it a
I
shot.
was feeling the rejection. Got to give it a shot.
So, Pete, I will give it a shot past the first episode. What, you said first 2 episodes, you said?
Yes, two.
All right, so I'll give it 2 episodes. After that, I'm blaming you.
You can do that. I don't care.
Come on. I don't care because it's not going to make any difference to me anyways.
Come on.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
come on. Bring it on.
Did you see Westworld? Chris, did you watch Westworld?
First 2 seasons, yes.
See? Come on, man.
I
You gotta watch
I wanted a Roman world. I wanted the
you only see part of that in the movie.
Yeah.
And they allude to it in the last season. They you could see it in the distance. So
Yeah.
it's all linked. Oh, it's so cool, man.
Is
So
it
cool.
still running? Are they in hiatus?
No, it's not coming back. It's done. They're
done.
not bringing it back. Yeah. It's good. I
Once
thought it was
again,
great.
it's one of those, hey, it was a really good show. Let's cancel it. That seems like what they do. You know, Netflix,
Unbelievable.
Amazon,
Yep.
most of them do it. I mean,
I don't know.
Expanse. It was
We've
like,
got a lot of
Expanse
stuff
was
going on,
great.
yeah.
But, yeah, let's cancel that.
Well, the Bad Batch should be starting back up this month.
Ooh, yeah.
The Mandalorian will be starting
I can't
next
wait.
month. There's a lot on the horizon, so.
I can't wait
What
for the Bad
about,
Batch. I really enjoyed the Bad Batch.
What about the other animated that came out? I think it's called Tales of the Jedi. What about that, guys?
I haven't seen that.
I thought it was good.
Okay. It's a hit and miss. The first one you have to get past. It's kind of a young Ahsoka story.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you get a couple of stories about Dooku. You get one with Dooku and Yaddle, and I am not a Yaddle fan at all. And Yaddle is the female-looking Yoda.
Oh, okay.
And amongst my Star Wars people, I riff on her bad. She's down there with Jar Jar as far as I'm concerned.
Woo! Jar Jar rules.
But
oh no,
I think it redeemed that character for me. So I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's worth the watch, definitely. But I mean, if you're just kind of a casual dip in it, you might not be able to follow what's going on.
Gotcha.
A filler. Well, Carl says it's a filler, but it's not bad. I haven't really watched a lot of the animated, and I didn't finish it yet, but I'm halfway, and I'm liking it. It's okay. I'm not regretting not watching it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like the Dooku Ashoka backstory. I pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like it, and they're short too. I think it's all said and done. The whole thing is like 90 minutes or something. For the whole series?
Something like that. Did you watch the what's the one on Behind the Magic, or that the one about
I have not. Highly recommended.
It is worth watching. It is worth watching.
You said By the Magic?
I can't remember what it's about. Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's supposed to be super good, and I haven't had a chance to watch, but I will.
Well,
there's in here. That's super good.
The first one, if you only want to watch just the first one, I mean, a lot of it talks about Dykstra, and there are. I think I sent you guys pictures. They're them working on like the pulsaric communications gun.
Yes.
Pulsaric communications.
Yeah, the Ravishal pulsar. Yeah, there you go.
The Ravishal. Once again, a human design that was easily destroyed. Because if it was a Cylon design, it would not have been easily destroyed.
Oh, please. Give it a rest, will you, man?
Damn humans.
Thanks for watching, guys. We've gone a bit over, but remember that
we had
we
to
had
catch
a little
up.
bit of
Well worth it.
Yeah, we had to do a catch up.
Yeah, we had to catch
So
up because little disconnect.
yeah, that's right. But thanks for your patience. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Some of the guys are signing off. It's getting obviously a little bit late, but thank you very much for jumping over. We'd started on the Facebook thing, and then that wasn't working too well. Luckily,
Blurry.
Tipsy Toaster came in to save the day or the
Save
night.
the day.
Yep,
Hey.
that's right. And of course,
Tipsy
Kelvin,
saved
thank
the
you so
fleet.
much for.
I had
He did this time. Kelvin comes in, also waiting in the wings.
Yay.
Appreciate your patience as
mediocre.
well. And then Joe,
Anytime,
of course,
man.
Joe
Anytime.
Carabeo. It worked out. In the end, it all worked out. So that was really cool. Thanks, everybody. Any last words, Kelvin?
Just keep watching IFB and Mediocre Modeler and movies and more.
There you go. That's it.
Hey,
Yes,
go ahead.
don't forget to go over to the other side. So yeah, Paul, it's only 7:30 there. Lucky you.
7:30.
Yes, getting late on our end. Yeah, once you go Chrome, right? Okay, good show. Thank you, Mike, from Texas, signing out. Mike, you take care and stay safe. Always a pleasure having all of you on board. Thanks for tuning in, and keep clicking the thumbs up, and don't forget to follow us. Tell your friends, tell everybody about us. If you want to contact, our email is info@interfleetbroadcasting.com. You know that we also have, we've done the podcasting. So it's on Spotify. We have a few episodes. We'll be putting up more as well. And those of you that watch this in rerun later on, thank you for watching. We appreciate your support. Keep the faith. And remember, we have our own little model that the Tipsy Toaster created. Guys,
Excuse me.
no, that's not it. But
Yeah, that's not the motto. No.
that's not the motto. No,
So,
it's not.
anyways, thank you for joining us. It's really important that we recognize the people that keep the fandoms alive. Mediocre, our guest tonight, and everybody else. So we'd like to say that of course, fans fuel the fleet. So this is to you. I'll toast you with my grams. I almost said gams. So, anyways, we'll get excuse me.
We're off the rails now, buddy.
Yeah, we'll get it right sooner or later.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah, we like to say that fans fuel the fleet. Thank you so much for joining us, and once again, we will see you next Thursday, hopefully, at 8:00 Eastern. And until then, keep the faith.
Cheers, guys. Be well. Stay safe.